Hello, welcome again. Greetings, everyone. Another video. I want to talk about, and this has been something, I didn't touched up on before, but it almost seems like a lot of people aren't getting it. And this is in regards to knowing the differences between a narcissist, cluster B, or just a personality style. Okay, more and more I'm hearing the word uttered from people's mouths that so and so is a narcissist, or labeling someone a narcissist based on a personal disliking of that person or their own inner feelings and personal biases. Okay, there are many different variables to take into consideration when you begin to label someone as a narcissist, especially if you do not know them personally. You can only assume, which does not equate to facts. Okay? And many people have turned the word narcissist into a derogatory word to express, like I said, a dislike to someone, or who they don't like, or they may feel uncomfortable with, or they might not even like their style. They might find their style offensive, or how they come across offensive. And this is no more than being judgmental, about someone that you don't know fully, or you just don't like that person. You just don't dig them, right? But it doesn't justify the labeling of that person to be a narcissist just because you feel some type of way. A lot of people get caught up in their feelings and they want to, spew out, oh, you're a narcissist, right? And that's just misusing the word. And it's almost taken away a lot of the significance of it, and the seriousness of the word and of the disorder, by people just throwing it out there like that, like it's that common, right? And so in many ways, like I said, people are misusing the word narcissist to express personal dislikings. And it's irrelevant to the facts of actually knowing that person, knowing what they stand for, knowing how they are day to day, in and out. They don't know none of this. But they rush to the judgment based on what they perceive in their minds to be, right? And many people mistake personality styles for cluster B personality disorders, which there's a distinct difference. Okay, people get this mixed up, and they go to running. They run wild with it. So and so's a narcissist, or you must be a narcissist because you did something, one of the traits that they came up in their mind to relate it to, right? And now everyone's an expert on narcissistic personality disorder. It doesn't work that way. I'm going to share some things from Dr. John Oldham, at least, which he has derived 14 different personality styles from the classification of personality disorders published by the American Psychiatric Association. In there, he states that the personality disorders are extremes of normal human patterns, the stuff which all our personalities are made of. Dr. Oldham quotes the psychiatric manual to define the difference between personality styles and personality disorders, the difference between personality functioning and personality malfunctioning, right? And so in this, we get, we'll go into where he basically states it is only when these personality styles are inflexible and maladaptive and either cause significant impairment or subject to distress that constitute a personality disorder. Okay? I'm going to read that again. It is only when the personality styles are inflexible and maladaptive, meaning they're not changeable. They don't change. They don't try to correct these things, even when brought to their attention. And it either causes significant impairment or subject to distress that they will constitute a personality disorder. Right? The personality disorders are, as it were, caricatures of temperament. Whatever the pattern of the personality in the normal state is intensified, the disorder and is intensified and disordered and brought to an extreme manifestation in the pathological state. P-types personality styles are normal, non-pathological categories of personality derived from the categories of personality disorder described by the psychiatric literature, in psychiatric literature, basically. So when we hear people quickly jumping to conclusions of someone being a narcissist without personally knowing the person or having enough personal interaction, even, physically or consistently enough with that person, then this becomes extremely hard to accurately assess from someone who's trying to say, well, that person's a narcissist. When some people assume or label someone to be a narcissist without really knowing them, this can just be seen as someone disliking that person and using that name as a title to express their disliking. Right? So the word becomes a weapon of some sort to express the disliking of that person, which is nothing more than an assumption. All right? Even doctors have a hard time, identifying cluster B personality disorders in individuals. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think the number is like almost 80% of these type of they go misdiagnosed. And that means that when people are using this and coming up with these terms, that they're just coming off of their own inner feelings about something. And that we can't do. It's one thing to say, well, maybe, but then what about you have to understand personality styles as well. Because if you understand personality styles, you wouldn't be so quick to point out, oh, someone's just a narcissist, because, personality styles a lot of the traits can at times look like a personality disorder. But the key component to this is that a personality style is not inflexible. It is not maladaptive, and it is not malfunctioning. It can correct itself. It won't stay the same way. When a disorder is present, you'll definitely see some disruption and chaos, sabotage, and so forth. And a lot of stuff that doesn't really make any sense for the person to be doing. But yet the behavior continues, and it proceeds to produce the same destructive results time and time again, but yet that individual refuses to change or do anything about it. That is on the lines of having a personality disorder. Not because a person acts in a way that you don't like, not because a person does things a certain way that you don't like or approve of. It has to be within that category. It has to be maladaptive. I've said this before, like somebody could feel good about themselves. How people say, oh, they're feeling themselves one day. You might get a fresh haircut. You get your hair done. Ladies, y'all looking good. You're gonna feel some type of way. You're gonna be feeling like that's fine to be that way. It may last for like a day or so, then you go back to normal. There's nothing wrong with that. And to be specific, people say, "Oh, you think you're the shit." But you're not. Your life is not in chaos. You're not disruptive and destructive and doing things to harm and damage yourself and other people. You're not doing things to sabotage your life. There's more to it than just what a lot of people go into assuming when they think about, these personality cluster B disorders. It has to be malfunctioning. That's a big thing. I mean, if it doesn't have all of the elements of a disorder, you can't point to that. If it's not inflexible, if it's not rigid, that you can't point to that. You can't point and say, "Oh, narcissist." You have to fully understand how personalities work. Some people have very aggressive personalities that may come off as arrogant and, inconsiderate. But that doesn't make them a narcissist. That's just their personality style. You have to understand this stuff. Otherwise it just becomes just throwing the word around like any other derogatory word. And it takes away the real meaning of it. So the word becomes weaponized by people who want to express a certain dislike to something that they don't understand. Anyway, that's all I got to say about this. Hope this resonates, man. I hope it shares some clarity to it. Hit the like button, share, and maybe someone it could benefit from. And many of you that's out there, man, stay safe. Make sure you got your mask on. If you got to wear your mask where you at, I hope all of y'all stay in good health. And until next time, talk to y'all soon.